My name is Chia Mosley. I became a first-time mom at the age of 47, natural and surprise conception at 46, and I am answering questions. And one lady hit me with a tough one, but we need to go there. She wanted to know, why did I stay with a man who told me up front he never wanted to get married or have children? Well, if this is not the question for the ages, that I have to come close to the camera and just look at y'all like this, because child, listen. So at the age of 38, I got into a relationship with a man. He's a nice guy. Till this day, I'll say he's a nice guy. But he was honest. He never wanted to get married or have children. Now, I always wanted to have children. I always wanted a family. Marriage was something that has always been kind of nice, but not a must. So let me break that part down. So let's break down the marriage part. My mom and dad did not get married until I was 30, I want to say, almost 30. And I was just not raised in a household where I believed that a man and woman had to be legally married in order to be committed to one another. That's not what I grew up with. That's not what I observed. My mom and dad were together for almost 60 years before my dad passed. And so I just have a different understanding about marriage because I've seen a lot of marriages come and go, but I saw my mom and dad ride it out. So when this man told me that marriage wasn't something he was into, I said, well, okay, that's okay. My mom and dad aren't married, and so that's not something that I have to have for a commitment. But the child part, this is a part where I really encourage ladies to remain true to their goals and to really listen to me when I say, do not give up hope. Because at that age, by 38, well, now I'm kind of thinking, well, if it hasn't happened already, there's probably not going to happen. And I started justifying and explaining the reasons why it would be okay to get into this relationship based on the fact that I was already so old. So I had just kind of assumed that with or without him, maybe children weren't going to happen anyway. Well, if you really wanted to have children, Chia, these were the internal conversations I was literally having with myself, justifying this. It's not that I had ever had a shortage of men interested in me. So I'd be like, well, if you wanted a baby, you could have went out and at least got a baby. You could have found a man that would have helped you get a baby, but you didn't even do that. So maybe you don't even want a baby. All these internal conversations with myself about why I didn't have a baby yet. And so it's not meant to be anyway, must not be what I really want, blah, 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 blah. Nothing really worth listening to in hindsight. But at the time, that was how I got myself into that relationship because he was a nice guy. He was a kind guy. We had a good friendship. I really enjoyed his company. He really enjoyed my company. We had a lot of fun together. But factually, the reasons why he didn't want to get married and why he didn't want to have children more had to do with just his unwillingness to fully commit. And I'm not going to even say we had infidelity issues or things like that, but he just was kind of hanging out. I was cool. I was fun. I was pretty. And it wasn't until we broke up and he dumped me, mind you. He dumped me a week before my 41st birthday, y'all. Lord have mercy, was out on the floor. But it wasn't, my light went out. That's okay. We're going to keep going. It wasn't until we broke up and then some years later, he reaches out to me saying that he had some introspection and he realizes that he actually does want to get married and he does want to have children and that he felt like I would be the best option. It was a little transactional in presentation, I'm not going to lie. And I was already, I had just met my fiance. We had just started dating and I was very happy there. But even if I hadn't, I would not have accepted that offer. I was listen, it was miserable towards the end with him just being in a situation where I knew he didn't want to get married and he didn't want to get married because, he just didn't believe in the institution of it. There was that, but I just wasn't his girl. I just wasn't his girl. And that started to feel a certain way. But here I am with age, kind of hanging on. Maybe we could sort it out. Maybe we can work it out. Bye. That's the answer. Don't do that. Don't do that.